there, Jody here, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here on my channel, I talk about Broadway books and television. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over all the TV shows that I'm looking forward to either returning to TV or will be premiering for the first time on TV this April. So without any further ado, let's get on to those shows. So the first show is The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. This is the latest addition to the Housewife franchise on Bravo, and as someone who absolutely loves Bravo with all my heart, I am so very much looking forward to this new addition to the Housewife franchise. And when I was watching the trailer not that long ago, someone on the show looked very familiar to me. I was like, is that Ashley I from The Bachelor? And sure enough, Ashley I from The Bachelor is going to be on The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. And even though I'm not super into the Bachelor franchise, at the moment anymore, I definitely loved the show a lot when she was on it, so I'm definitely looking forward to this new addition to the Housewives. And so now moving on to the next show, this will be the start of a few Apple TV shows that I'll be talking about today. The first is Your Friends and Neighbors. Second season of the show will be premiering on April on Apple TV. And I have to say, it did take me a minute or so to, warm up to the first season. I didn't think the first episode was that great, but the more and more I watched the show, the more and more I started to like it. Basically, the show is about this guy, played by Jon Hamm, who I believe works in finance. He loses his job, and, he lives a very luxurious, lavish kind of lifestyle. So, it takes money to live that lifestyle, and if he does have a job, he's, not sure what he's going to do. So that's when he's like, I'm just going to rob my friends and neighbors. Surrounded by all these huge homes, and, he's, thinking to himself, if a few things go missing, they're not going to notice because they have so many things. And that's basically what the show is about. I'm going to talk a little bit about the finale for a second. I'll put spoiler up on the screen in case this is considered to be a spoiler. I'm not sure it is, but I didn't really love how the season ended. That being said, I understand why it ended like that, because if they didn't end the show like that, there would be no need for another season. That being said, even though I know why the show ended that way, I still found it to be annoying because his character was very much given a second chance to start over in his career. And he was like, no thanks. I'm just going to continue robbing my friends and neighbors. So it's like, okay, I understand why we went in that direction. It still bothers me, but I understand it. There will be no need for another season. But anyway, moving on to the next Apple TV show. This is Margot's Got Money Troubles. This is going to be a television series adaptation of the book of the same name, of which I have not yet read, but I do have the book and I definitely plan on reading it. This book was very popular when it was released, and from my understanding, everybody loves this book, so I cannot wait to read it. And because I don't want to know too much about the story before going into it, I only know a really brief kind of overview, which is that it's about a young woman named Margot who is going through an unplanned pregnancy, and then the story takes a very interesting turn. And that's kind of all I know about the show. This show has such an amazing cast. Elle Fanning is going to play Margot. Nicole Kidman's on the show, Michelle Pfeiffer, Nick Offerman, Greg Kinnear. Even if I wasn't interested in reading the book and then checking out the show, I probably would still want to check out the show because what an amazing cast. Literally anytime Nicole Kidman is on a TV show, I usually love that TV show. So I'm much looking forward to watching the show after I read the book. The next Apple TV show that I'll be talking about is Widow's Bay. This is a new series on the streaming service. It's a horror comedy series starring Matthew Rhys, and that's all I need to hear. Matthew Rhys on the show, and it's a show I will be interested in wanting to watch. He was on one of my favorite shows, The Americans, and he's such an incredible actor that anytime he's on a show now, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch that show. And I just have to point out how amazing he was on The Beast of Me. That's a show I never really talked about on my channel because it didn't really make my favorite TV shows for 2025 list. And I still wanted to mention that show in some kind of way because his performance on the show was truly incredible. He would just stare at somebody on that show, and it was so terrifying. That's what you call acting, my friends. He's just such an incredible actor, so I'm definitely looking forward to his new television show. And now moving on to the next show, which is Euphoria Season 3. I honestly didn't think this was going to happen just because it's been so many years since Season 2 ended. Also, so many of the actors on the show have gone on to, do other television shows or movies, and I just did not think this was going to happen. And here we are, and we're finally getting a Season 3 for Euphoria. I don't know much about the new season other than the show is taking a time jump where it's going 5 years ahead from where we last saw all the characters. So, to say the least, I am looking forward to the new season. Like I said, I don't know what the new season is going to entail, but I'm sure it's going to be, you know, really over the top and have a lot of shocking moments and twists and turns. And now moving on to the next show, which is The Miniature Wife, which will be on Peacock. I'm really looking forward to the show. I came across a trailer not too long ago, and I was like, I am so excited for the show. It just looks like a really funny comedy. From what I gather from the trailer, it's about a writer played by Elizabeth Banks who is married to a scientist played by Matthew Macfadyen from Succession, and he is making this like device. It's kind of like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of like story. The device shrinks things and makes them really small, and he by accident has this device in the presence of his wife, and next thing you know, his wife is miniature, and that's where we get the Miniature Wife title from for the show. The show just looks so funny, and it has a great cast. Elizabeth Banks was on one of my favorite shows last year, The Better Sister, so I can't wait to watch her on another series this year. And last but not least, the last show that I'll be talking about today, which is the revival for Malcolm Middle. This revival will be on Disney+, and I definitely watched Malcolm Middle when it was on television all these years ago now, and it's a show that I really liked. It's like a very wacky, funny kind of comedy that always has you laughing when you're watching it, and it's just so much fun to see these revivals, you know, popping up on television the last few years, because all the ones that I've watched so far have been really great. So I am very much looking forward to this latest revival of a very beloved TV comedy. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it mostly also because Bryan Cranston's on it. Most know this at this point, but Bryan Cranston, you know, is on the original Malcolm series in the middle. And, you know, he doesn't really do as many comedies these days. You know, he was on The Studio, obviously, last year, which he was really great on. But he's done a lot of, like, obviously very heavy, serious dramas, like Breaking Bad. So it's always fun to see him, like, play these, like, wacky, funny kind of characters. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, the revival and seeing the cast get back together and seeing that magic return to television once again that the original series had. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Let me know in the comments if you're looking forward to any of the shows I talked about today, or what shows are you looking forward to returning or premiering for the first time in April. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye.